Good morning, Internet fans. Ryan Perry here, Simple Biz Support. Today is Thursday, June 30th. It is the last day of June. That means we are heading into the second half of the year starting tomorrow. Being Thursday, it is Internet Marketing Thursday, and I have one of my favorite people, which is Virginie Dorn, the CEO of Business Website Center, that took 3 weeks off for vacation, which is awesome for you. Virginie, glad to have you back.
Well, thank you very much. And you are too one of my favorite people. Thank you.
Aw,
It's good to be back.
definitely. You went back home essentially, and you were showing me all these bones that you were hanging out with.
Yes, I went back to Europe. I'm from France originally, but this time around we went to the catacombs, which is an underground cemetery underneath Paris with 6 million bodies. And I tell you, that was something else. I've been to many countries, visited many cool places, but this one stands alone. There's nothing to compare it to. So I advise it to anybody who wants to see something unique in Paris. The catacombs is fantastic.
And it's all underground. So if you have any fears at all around being in small places, being underground, in dark, granted it's lit, and surrounded by how many bodies again?
I think
Bones?
6 million.
6 million people's bones could very well be an interesting experience.
Yes, it was.
I'm just guessing, but the pictures looked amazing. So I don't know. I don't know if it's right for me. That's all. I guess that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But it looked like a great experience. On the business side, we're going to talk about storytelling and how do you use storytelling in your website? Because I think this is something I think a lot of small business owners still struggle with. I see so many websites out there that are really just brochures.
Correct.
And
Yes,
go
they
ahead.
sell their products and services. They totally forget about the value of telling their story.
Yes, and back in the day, that was okay because marketing was so much push marketing. We just push, push, push. That was the accepted way. Today, push marketing really is not as effective as pull marketing, social media, engaging with people, understanding that people buy from who they know, like, and trust. A lot of that is more important to people. I think the quality of the business that they're doing business with, or the quality of the person that's working at a business, is really more important than just a corporate name these days. I'm not going to go and bank at B of A as an example just because it's a big bank.
Correct. With globalization and the increase of competition online, people want to know why they should choose you and not the other person who's doing exactly what you do. None of us are unique in what we do. There are always other web development companies out there. There's tons of them, other marketers, other shoemakers, other bakers. So you have to tell your story. And sometimes it's the story of your culture and your company and how you came about. Sometimes it's a story behind the why and what sets you apart. Sometimes it's a story of a product, how it came from conception to manufacturing and the end product, what you can benefit from buying that product. So there are stories in many different levels.
Yeah, and I think as a small business owner, a lot of times we don't understand the power of conversion. And that is, a lot of people are really focused on, well, I need to get more people to my website. I need to get more people to my website. I need better visibility. I need to be on the first page of Google. And all of that is very important. However, if you have 0% conversion, why spend the time, money, and energy being the top dog and getting all these people going to your website when you don't have any conversion? And even those people that say, yeah, but you know what, I get all my business from referral. I'm not worried about being on the first page of Google. The reality is, if I refer you, the viewer, to Virginie for a brand new website, you're going to go look at her website. You're going to go see if this is somebody you want to do business with. If you're on Facebook and you're actively on Facebook, you're going to go check out her Facebook page, and you're going to see, does her messaging, her story, her branding is in alignment with what you're looking for and who you are. If you have a budget of $1,000 to build a website, you should get a clear sense when you go visit the business. And I forgot your business name again. Darn it. I don't know why it always sticks with me. If you go check out Virginie's website, what the heck is it?
It's santarosawebsite.com. Our name is Business
Business
Website.
Website Center, though. I don't know why that gets stuck in my head. We were just talking about NLP. It's one of those little things that's just like stuck in my head. I apologize. But when you go to her website and you've got $1,000 to spend on a website, you should get a clear understanding that she may not be the right person for you, simply because of the quality, the type of clients that she wants to attract. And you can tell all of that through the website, the branding, and essentially a story that she's conveying about quality and the workmanship that they put into their product. And there are other websites where you get a clear understanding from a web developer that you're going to pay $500 or $1,000, and it shows in the story that they're sharing on their website.
Correct. So in terms of developing a storyline for your website, it doesn't have to be for the entire website. In most instances, this is good for maybe 1 or 2 pages, maybe a page then highlights your journey as a company or your client's journey once they select you as their company of choice. So again, it doesn't have to be that complex. It could be a set of pages or one single page in which you spend more time and focus on developing a storyline. And again, and it's very efficient. It's about your company and the people behind your company, but it also can be efficient when you're explaining a product, how it was conceived with a design, how it was manufactured, when it was delivered to the end consumer, and what the consumer does with that product. So that can be a storyline. So going into depth now about how to develop a strong storyline digitally, there's 3 things to consider. First, you want the visual, then the textual content, and finally the audio. So those 3 components are 3 elements you can choose to use together, or maybe just one of them, but that can really make your storyline very efficient. Again, going to that conversion rate, increasing the efficiency of your website, making people call you more than without the storyline. So we can start with talking about visual.
All right, visual. Most websites now, big, what we call a hero image at the top. Maybe it rotates, and then we have some text and options down below.
Yes, and actually maybe I'm just going to pull a website called iFly50, and it would help greatly illustrate that. So here we are. Can you see that website?
I see it.
Okay, let's see if I can just refresh it. So this website especially has 3 components. The visual, as you're going to see, is very powerful.
Welcome to iFly50.
They also use the audio. Not sure if you can hear it. But it also has textual information. You can choose to scroll. Every time it has text. I'm not sure how to turn off the sound.
Bottom right-hand corner. I had to figure that out myself. And just as a note about sound, typically I don't recommend having anything that plays sound. If you're going to have a video that plays on your website, as an example, that's okay. But give the user the option to turn the sound on versus being automatic, because you never know if they're at work, they could be in a meeting. You never know where people are at. And the last thing you want to do is have sound come on that could potentially embarrass them.
I agree. So if you are going to use audio or sound on your website, especially on the storyline, make it an option for the client. But also, if you're narrating a story, which can be quite powerful, use a quality voice. Don't try to do it yourself. I understand you might know your services better than anybody else. But the truth of the matter, there are people out there that are experts in using the right tone of voice, the right pose, emphasis on the right word, the breathing, everything. And that can really transform your storytelling from, oh, it's fun and nice, to fantastic and compelling.
Yeah, and if you're not sure where to get a voiceover artist, there's websites like Fiverr. I've used it a number of times for voiceovers for different projects, and it's a matter of finding the right voice that you're trying to convey. But it's so much easier to always have an expert do their job.
Yes. So that covers the audio, which is just one of the small elements out of the 3. The main thing is the visual. The price of high resolution and high quality photographs being more than affordable than before. You can purchase those beautiful imageries for very little money, but you can see how powerful that can be. Just people are visual. I don't care what their personality types are. They're still going to be impressed or not impressed by an image. So if you want to render, like this is New Orleans, you can see people sitting down on the ground, totally enjoying the fun jazz in New Orleans, in Louisiana. You get that from that image. And also, as you go through the different slides, each slide represents for this particular website a different country, and they try to capture the one image that is significant for that country. In addition to the visual, again, they have very succinct word here. Of course, the word India showing that this person is in India in case the person didn't guess that, but also some very quick word, love, devotion, and inspiration in Varanasi. So again, very succinct text used appropriately. In this case, they put it in the lower left corner to really keep the emphasis on the imagery. And it also has numbers. So obviously that website is High Fly 50, so they have 50 numbers. This one is actually a video. Again, very powerful. But if you go through these 50 steps of this website, it has a story. It's all about traveling. It's all about, this is what you get when you use our company. This is the experience you're going to enjoy. Step 39, and you can scroll down, or you can like right now I'm actually using my cursor and scrolling with my mouse to go a little faster, but you can also be a passive visitor and watch it.
Very cool. There's a couple other examples. I don't have a screenshot or screen sharing for it, but I was doing research for a client, and I found a company, I forget exactly what they did, but they were in the health industry, and their homepage was a video of a patient coming in at the front desk, the doctor meeting them. They sit down, they have a conversation in the office, and then they go into a separate room, and they're asking questions, and the doctor's kind of poking and prodding and those type of things. And essentially what they did is they walked you through what you could kind of expect by coming to our office. And I thought that was beautifully done. There was no sound, and you had all these different options of, okay, what are you looking for? So if you're a dentist, as an example, you could totally do the same thing. Have someone come into your office, meet you at the front desk, have a little conversation, go to the chair, a little conversation, and then maybe you start some basic cleaning process or something in the video, and it just looped through. And I thought it was great because now I know what that experience is if I was going to go to that office. And I really loved the way they did that.
I remember looking at that website with you. It was very well done and very compelling. Again, it absolutely utilized the power of storytelling.
Yeah, and you had mentioned also that it doesn't necessarily need to be every single page, which got me thinking to certain things like landing pages, as an example, is a great way to tell a story if it's relevant. And then, did you have an example of one that you were talking about where it wasn't necessarily the home page, but they had a couple of pages within their website?
We are currently working on various projects, but one of which actually is a financial group. They do financial planning, trust, retirement, and so forth. So it's hard to make the website sexy. It is under development, so you have to pardon our dust. But for them specifically, we are doing a journey pages where people can click on journey, and this is the story. It's under development. So again, you can see then, as you can either scroll, or there's different ways to do it, but this is the storytelling here. And then you can go back to the basic homepage, which has a more standardized look. It's only when you come to the journey, then the story layout changes.
All right, very cool. And that would also, I could trigger people that if you're providing something in the future, what is your personal journey then? Is it about, getting your kids to college? Is it about traveling the world? And if you gave people those options, they could go down a different, create their own story throughout the web. And when you do that, you emotionally connect with people. And that's, I think, the one thing we haven't talked about. And unfortunately, our time is up. But it's really that emotional connection that a great storyteller really is a very powerful person, because they emotionally connect with people. And when you can use that emotional connection, may it be on your web, through social media, through video, people will connect with you. And what's really great about it is that you're going to connect with like people. And so now you're going to start finding that you're doing business with the type of people you want to do business with.
Yes, this was true thousands of years ago. It is still true today in 2016.
All right, perfect. With that, Virginie, we are out of time. Great to have you back from vacation. Thank you for sharing some of those fabulous photos with me earlier. Looking forward to a little bit more of a humorous episode next week. We're going to add a little fun into it, and looking forward to that.
Well, I look forward to it as well. Have a great week.
All right, everybody, that is it for today's episode. We will see you next week, same time, same place, same computer screen. Take care.